All right, I think we are about ready to start. So for those of you who've just joined on in the last minute or so, just a little bit of house rules. Unfortunately, we can't hear you or see you, but we do want this to be very collaborative. So if you look on the right-hand side, there are options where there'll be questions that you can ask us, and we've got our team that will be able to answer anything. If you want to chat or comment with us, there's also a little dialogue box for that as well. I do believe we are ready to start. So I'm just going to go ahead and slowly begin, and hopefully people will trickle in as we go on. So I just want to say welcome, everybody, for those of you who managed to log on. It's very exciting to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to be here to join this session on communication, collaboration, and connection, and transforming schools with D6. As we all know, a strong communication is the backbone of any successful school. It's what keeps parents informed, it's what keeps teachers empowered, it keeps the students supported. In today's sort of fast-paced world, we need smarter, more efficient ways to stay connected, and that's exactly what we are all here to talk about. So in this session today, we're going to explore how D6 in particular helps schools streamline communication, enhance engagement, create thriving school communities for students, educators, and for your parents. So there's also a little exciting bonus at the end. We'll also teach you how, we'll touch base on how your school can have its very own branded app without, any of the hassle of managing the tech side. So definitely stick around till the end of the webinar to figure out a little bit more about that. You can also stick around because you'll figure out how D6 makes school communication effortless for administrators, for parents. You can see how schools are using D6 to just cut through the noise, deliver important messages with a lot of ease, and walk away with pretty practical strategies to strengthen your relationships with parents, staff, and your students. So I think we are about ready to dive in, and I'm going to introduce you to the rest of the team in a second. And like I did say, again, if you are joining on now, we do want this to be as collaborative as possible. So if anytime you have any questions or comments, my team will be there to help you out as well. So let's meet some of the team. So D6 is largely based in South Africa, but we have a whole international team and section as well. You can see some of their videos are on at the moment. We've got Anna Lorana in Botswana. We've got McDonald in Zimbabwe. We've got Arnold in Uganda. We've got Dylan in the UK, Lindie in Namibia, and myself, Sheena, from the UAE. It doesn't mean we're limited to all of these places. We are sort of reaching out across the globe, but these are the representatives so far right now. We are on to world domination soon, and that will happen eventually, I'm sure, as well. So thank you, team. I'm sure if any of you are in these regions or anyone who's, please reach out to us. We will share all those details at the end as well. Thanks, team. So what is our overall mission in D6? It's to helping schools to be the best they can be. It sounds pretty broad, but at D6, schools are at the heart of everything we do. Unlike generic communication or management tools, D6 is built exclusively for schools, understanding their unique challenges, workflows, and the vital role that strong communication plays in a thriving learning environment. Our platform isn't just another software solution, it's a dedicated school ecosystem. It's designed to streamline your operations and strengthen your parent engagement and empower educators with the tools that they need to focus on what really matters, which is student success. At D6, it's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all solution. We understand every school is unique, and our mission is to help them communicate better, operate a bit smarter, build stronger communities so that they can truly be the best that they can be. At D6, we also understand that schools need to be reliable, flexible, and have future-proof solutions to keep up with the demands of modern education at the moment. That's why our platform is entirely cloud-based. Whether you're in the classroom or at home or on the go, teachers are able to access D6 at any time, anywhere, as long as they have an internet connection and their device with them. It's continuously being optimized. We're always improving. We're always ensuring that schools have the most efficient, intuitive, and powerful tools right at their fingertips as well. It's backed by exceptional support, so your school is never alone. Once we sell your product, it's not that we leave you alone. We've got a dedicated support team who are there to ensure that you always have the help that you need. And from all of this, it's no surprise that over 2,500 schools worldwide trust us, with more than 3 million parents that rely on the D6 platform for seamless communication and engagement. Because at D6, we're not just a solutions provider or a service, we're a partner in your school's success. So at D6, like I said, we don't just provide software, we also provide a complete integrated solution, which is built exclusively for schools. The platform is designed to streamline operations and enhance communications, and it's also there to help you simplify your administration. So educators can focus on what really matters, which is student success. So we've got our core D6 pillars, which empower schools with the tools to help support efficiency, security. We are POPIA and GDPR compliant. So all of that is, you have to be rest assured that your data is protected, and it ensures a seamless experience for your teachers and your parents alike. So your D6 pillars are administration, which is to help your school operations run smoothly, help streamline efficient management tools. Curriculum, we support teachers with structured curriculum planning and assessments. Finance is to have full visibility over your budgeting, your invoicing, financial compliance. Communication, which is the heart of what today's webinar will be focusing on. As we know, effective communication builds stronger communities. We have integrated payments, which is simplify school fees, lunchboxes, all these hassle-free transactions and integrations, which connect seamlessly with other school systems. As I mentioned, communication will be the focus of today's webinar specifically, but if you are interested to learn a little bit more about the D6 pillars, feel free to reach out to us. We will be happy to run you through everything as well. Alrighty. Let's have a quick look at what the D6 Communicator is all about. So the D6 Communicator is designed and it's effective enough because it's got multiple channels. So your schools can send messages through SMS, email, and in-app notifications to ensure that nobody misses an important update. It's a targeted messaging system, so no more one size fits all. You don't want to send out a message to your grade 3 parent about things that are going on in maybe your secondary school. So everything is targeted. You're able to ensure that specific messages can hit your specific communities exactly as well. You have administrator and moderator controls, which is so key because as a school, as an administrator, as a leader of a school, you want to have complete control over the messages that are going out into your school. So you make sure your communication is streamlined, it's secured, and it's all going out how you want to. We've got the D6 Communicator app, which is a dedicated mobile app where parents and your staff can access your school updates anytime, anywhere. And there's real-time updates as well. So any urgent announcements will reach the right people instantly. No delays, no miscommunication. The D6 Communicator is all about making school communication smoother, more efficient, and more accessible. It keeps the entire school community engaged and informed. To dive a little bit deeper about how it all works, I'm going to hand over to my colleague in the UK, Dylan, who will walk you through the entire communicator system in a little bit more detail. So, Dylan, I will hand over to you.
Great, thank you so much, Sheena. And firstly, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. As Sheena said, I'm going to take a bit of a deep dive into just some of the features that our communicator has to offer, or our platform has to offer. We could be here for hours if I had to show you everything, but we're going to show you just some of the more relevant things in terms of communication itself. So this first video, we're going to see just what the homepage looks like. So this is the view that the school will have. As you'll see here, it's just welcome to the future of communication. And on the left-hand side, you've got all the aspects that make up being able to create messages, which we'll get into a little bit later. And you'll see here just being able to keep track of all messages that have gone out. Members, these are all the parents that will be on the system that you'll be sending communications out to. Systems users, this will be everyone on the school side that's able to use the system. And then your groups, as Sheena mentioned, we try and enhance effective communication and relevant communication. So being able to create groups to be able to send messages to specific, parents or classes and things like that can all be done in the groups. And you'll see there that we have a calendar which just keeps track of events and everything. And we'll show you a little bit later on how to create events. So we'll just move on to the first message creation video. So in this video, we're going to show you just how to create a basic message. As I mentioned, we can create groups. So in this instance, we've got our grade 3 parents group. So only the grade 3 parents will receive this. And you'll see that it's relating to the project. So we're just putting in a little bit of information there for the parents, and we are now going to attach a document which explains what will be making up the actual grade 3 project. Once we're happy with this, we just, as simple as clicking send, and you'll notice there that we've taken out SMSs when sending it through. These do come at an extra cost, and it's something we don't encourage as much, because we find that being able to send a message that reaches the parents on the app as well as their emails is more than enough communication for the parents to be able to always be in touch with what's happening at the school. So our next video, we're going to see what that message we just sent looks like on the parent side. So you'll see here that this is them viewing it in the app, all the details around the grade 3 project. So just the basic message we created, as well as the parents being able to open the document that explains everything with regards to the grade 3 project. Simple, effective, and just I'll probably end up saying it quite a lot, but effective communication. So in our next video here, we are now going to create a form. And you'll see, again, just being able to create a new message, and there we are now again going to tailor it just for the grade 1 parents in this instance, and this is now for extra maths classes. So, you know, if you had to ask the parents all individually what date suits them for extra maths classes, you're probably going to get tons of different responses. So giving them limited options where they can select specific ones, and you as the school are able to keep track of that, makes life a lot easier. And we'll go into a little bit about analytics at the end of this, so being able to keep track of responses from parents when filling out forms, when responding, and you know, RSVPing and all of those sort of things. So we'll have a few videos explaining that. So here we're going to give them a few multiple choice options in terms of dates for the extra maths classes. And as I say, instead of getting multiple different answers that don't really sync up, you're able to go on the school's calendar and what works best for you. And you'll also notice on the side, on the right-hand side, that you're able to preview the message as you go. We'll have a little bit more detail on that in a bit. And now we are happy with our options. We've given the parents 4 options, and we are going to send that off again. As I mentioned, we will deselect the SMSs, but the option is there should you guys need it. And once again, this is on the parent side. So when they open it, you'll see that they're able to select their option, submit it. All of this will be received and tracked on the school side, so you're able to see which dates the children will be attending the extra maths classes, and it just helps in the organization of all of that. So moving on to the next one, we are now just going to create a simple urgent message. So, you know, it's difficult to, should there be something urgent, to phone every single parent at the school. You want to be able to just create a bit of urgency around communication being sent out. And in this instance, we're just notifying the parents of no school tomorrow because of a storm that's going to be taking place. And you'll see your basics in terms of creating a message. You can obviously bold the text, you can increase the size of the text, and just ensure that it's going to be very visible to the parents, and they're going to know exactly what the message says without even having to open it. And we're going to send that off to them again, and we'll then view what this looks like on the parent side. As I say, in an urgent situation, you want to be able to get the message across to parents as quick as possible, and they will receive this message on email and on this app to ensure that they've all been communicated to about no school tomorrow, so there should be no issues in that regard. Moving along to our next one, and this is one of my personal favorites, is being able to create events. It's useful for a lot of reasons, and we're going to run through all of them, as well as look at a handful of features that will go up with this. So you'll see that we are sending this to the grade 1 parents again, and this time it's for a camp. So we're going to attach a document regarding the camp just to be able to give all the parents the information. We also have an image around the camp, which is just, there to add the visual effect when sending the message out. And we are going to create the event here. So you'll see that we can create the dates that the camp will be running to, as well as the times. And this is, and you'll see that what you can do is add location. So should the parents need to drop the kids off, or should they just need to know exactly where the children will be, they have it there. And you'll see there you can mark add it to calendar. So this will add it to your calendar on the school side, as well as the grade 1 parents, should their child be attending. This will be on their calendar, and we'll show you what that looks like for them to add that to their calendar. And we're going to add a form once again, just to get a simple RSVP from the parents. Is your child going to be attending or not? And in this instance, we're actually going to set a deadline. So this will ensure the parents respond by a certain time. And once the deadline has hit, then unfortunately those parents will no longer have time to submit their answers, and it will just mean their kids aren't attending. And again, it's just creating a bit of urgency in responses. And you'll see we're having a look at the preview on the side there. We readjusted a few things, and now we are happy with the message. So we'll scroll down and we will send that off to the parents. You'll also see when we send the message that you can schedule send it or send it immediately. So should the message only need to go out a little bit later, you can schedule it to do so. And now we are going to look at this on the parent side. So there we go, the grade 1 camp all set up. It appears exactly how our preview showed, and now the parents have the documents around the camp giving them all the information. They are able to view exactly where it's taking place. They can also add it to their calendars, and it'll show their specific grade 1 calendar for this event, and they've submitted their RSVP, as well as you also saw they were able to click the link and see exactly where the event is taking place. So as I mentioned, this is one of my favorites in terms of being able to create events and send that out so that parents have all the detail. And once again, you can get all the responses you need. So moving on to another favorite of mine, if I'm being honest, is our voting and AI assist. So in this video, we'll look at both aspects together. These are additional features that we offer on the platform. So you'll see here that we're going to discuss, or we're going to send a message to the parents around the governing body, and we're going to ask them to vote for the new school governing body. And we're going to send that, and sorry, not send it. You'll see we'll be using the AI assist in this instance. Excuse me. So now we're going to elaborate the text. All done through the AI. They have now elaborated this few words that we had put together there, and it's quite a lot of information. So now we're actually going to summarize that, and again, it automatically summarizes it for you. This will save lots of time in terms of typing out, long messages where you need to get a lot of detail to parents, and you can change the tone, you can simplify, you can do a number of aspects. And in this instance, we're going to add the voting component. And so you'll see that you can select a variety of options, like making the voters anonymous, for example. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a few of the candidates that will be part of the governing body. You'll see that we can then add the images of the candidates along with their names, and then you are able to add multiple options in order to have all the candidates available for the parents to vote. And again, you'll notice on the side that you can preview this as you build the message. It's also worth noting that should you not, or should you do similar messages quite often, you can save them as a template. So you don't need to recreate a message every time. You can save a template and say now it's a reminder of paying school fees or anything along those lines that needs to go out each month. You can just go back into that template and send it on. So we're now ready for our sending this off to the parents. We're just going to set another deadline, as you can see. So in this instance, what will happen when it reaches the deadline, the message will still appear for the parents, but they will no longer be able to action on that deadline. Whereas the other one, it just removes it once the deadline is passed. And we'll just set the deadline for voting for our parents, just again to get the response from them in a timely fashion so that the voting can take place and the new governing body can be selected. And we will send that off to them once again. And now we'll just see what that voting component looks like. And you'll see there the message created by, well, enhanced by the AI and the parent being able to submit their votes. And you'll see now we'll have a look at some of the analytics and how that looks. But on the school side, you'll be able to now keep track of every single vote that comes through. So on this page, we're going to have a video on it shortly, but on this page, you can just see basically what it looks like. So the total engagement, the platform distribution. So to show you who's reading the messages and not responding, to also show you how the parents are receiving the messages. If more of them are, having a look on the app rather than on email, it just shows all the distribution of the information and how the parents are receiving it. And then if we go onto the video, we'll then have a look at where we had submitted or we had sent a message around the camp. And you can see there how parents have received it. We can see a few have read it. You can also see who's already responded in terms of RSVP'd for their child. And you'll also see who's actually viewed the document and they've taken on the relevant information that you have sent out. So it's good to know all of that. And then you'll see here, and I think we all know those parents who are very bad at responding. So here you can keep track of the interactions, you can filter it by groups and things like that. But in this instance, you can see who's not read it and you can send them reminders either to respond or to answer. And then you'll notice there that you can then download a report on that. So it's an Excel or CSV file where you can then keep track of the kids and their response and see who exactly has RSVP'd, who hasn't, and in all the other aspects. You can keep track of the voting that has happened, and you can keep track of the parents that have opened the project's message and things like that. And as we've said, being able to create groups creates the effective communication, because not the whole school needs to know about the grade 1 camp, just the grade 1 parents, and that just streamlines your communication for the parents. So I'm sure everyone's sick of my voice, so I'm going to hand over to my colleague in Namibia, Lindie, who's going to take you through our white label.
Thank you so much, Dylan. I appreciate all the valuable feedback you gave us now on D6's communication platform, and it is truly a remarkable platform, as you all saw now. So I'm going to talk a bit more about our white label, and a lot of schools, they're not aware that we even offer this, but our white label application is an application where D6 can actually create a branded application for your school. So you can sit back, you can relax, you don't have to worry about any of the technical side of developing your own app. We can actually develop it for you at a very cost-effective price. And on top of that, you still have access to all the premium features that Dylan mentioned now. So moving on, I'll explain a bit more on why you should choose the white label. Well, not only will it let you stand out, you will definitely be the #1 school in your region having your own communication app. You will definitely have seamless communication and definitely stand out. So it will definitely it will elevate your school's presence and your brand identity. It will enhance your communication immensely to your parents, to your staff, to your learners. It's very reliable. Your community engagement will improve, fast deployment. You still have all the support and updates available like our regular communicator, but on top of this, it is your own. It's your own branded application developed for you by D6. So I think it's definitely a win-win, and you can just sit back and enjoy all the premium features that we have available. And then moving on to our sales journey. if you are interested, which I'm sure you are interested, you can contact us at sales@d6.co.za, where one of the AEs in your region will contact you to set up your own personalized demo for you. So please feel free to reach out, contact us so that we can do demos for all of you that joined our webinar. And after that, obviously, I know all of you will sign contracts. So then we will send out estimates and contracts for you. And after you sign a contract, you will move over to our accounts. So accounts will invoice you the implementation fee as well as the monthly fees. And only after your implementation is paid, you will move over to the implementation phase. So I know we didn't mention a lot of implementation, but don't worry, you won't start on an empty system. We will import all your static data for you. So you will just provide all the data for us, and our implementation team will set it up and will import all the data for you. So after implementation is done and your system is ready to go, you will receive training, and thereafter we will hand you over to our very dedicated support team. So we have CS, which is our customer success consultants. They will assist you with any possible problems you might experience. They will hold your hand throughout this process, and they will also assist you furthermore with training should you need more training. So we are a very dedicated sales team and support team, and we will make sure all your needs are met throughout this process. And then lastly from me, nothing changes if nothing changes. Be the change you want to see in the world, and in this case, in your school. And that's it from me, so I'll hand back to Sheena.
Thanks so much, Lindie and Dylan. I mean, both of your staff have some very important things to say. Thank you for those of you who have also managed to answer our polls as well that have been going out. We got some really interesting results about what are your favorite features. I do want to, again, strongly encourage you to ask any questions. We're not gone just yet, so there is a little question tab on the side, and there is a little chat box, so we are here. We really hope that you just found this webinar insightful. It gave you a better understanding of how D6 can support your school's communication needs. Like I said, we'd love to keep the conversation going, so let's connect. Please email sales@d6.co.za if you don't want to maybe say your question out loud or in the chat. Or if you do want to just start a conversation and have a conversation going, we are around for a couple of minutes. So feel free to contact us at any time. I'm just going to release another poll now to see if you want us to contact you as well. So if you're happy to do that, I'll go ahead and do that as well. But thank you so much for your time today. We are still around, like I said, and if there are some interesting questions, we will actually also broadcast them and have a little discussion about that as well. So that's it from me from now. Like I said, we are here for a few minutes, and in that case, see you later.